So, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss the most important topic of your quantum mechanics, that is group velocity and phase velocity. This is required to understand what is called as the particle and how the particle is going to be represented by the wave, or to determine to analysis the quantum dynamics. This is the base things that we have to know. So let's start. From the Schrodinger's velocity paradoxical situation, we found one thing, that in case of non-relativistic particle, we found whenever we tried to represent the particle as a wave, and wave as a particle means whenever we considered the wave aspects or wave theory of de Broglie, who have been told that each and every particle have dual nature. At that time we found this type of paradoxical situation. That means in case of non-relativistic particle is moving with larger velocity as compared with the wave, and in case of relativistic particle we found the wave, whatever we have been considered that maybe the particle, and they are going to be combined things are combined with each other, that wave moved larger velocity than the particle. So this type of a paradoxical not acceptable situation has been observed by Schrodinger. Only for that it is also called as the velocity paradox, also Schrodinger velocity paradoxical situation, that we have been discussed in our last class. Now, but this paradoxical situation can be solved by considering superposition of two or more number of plane waves by varying slightly in frequency and wave number, instead by considering as particle as a wave. So initially we have been considered particle is a wave. We should not be do like this. We have to consider two or more numbers, they have to be superimposed with each other, and they will be produced with two or more numbers having different frequency and wave number is going to be superimposed with each other. For that situation, or from that we can derive mathematical derivations, or mathematically particle and wave are coexists with each other. That means whenever that means whenever the two waves, this is red one is one wave, blue one is another wave, are going to be superimposed with each other, they both are having very few difference of, very minute difference of frequency and wave number, then we can found this type of resultant wave, this type of resultant wave. So here we can see is a one type of packet or envelope, then minima, then this type of packet, like this. So these things observed due to constructive interference, these things minima observed due to destructive interference. Okay, but this procedure, by this procedure the wave group have a modified amplitude. In this, whenever we are going to be superimposed, we can found the wave groups. So this wave is nothing but superimposed with these two waves, or we can say this is that wave group have a modified amplitude whose maxima will be move at a certain velocity that can be measurable. This velocity is called group velocity, which can be equated with particle velocity. So from this note, from this first page of your note, see I represented your note only. Okay, it will be familiar with you. This writing is familiar with you because these things are in your note. Okay, so overall what we done instead of considering particle as wave, wave as particle, we consider the numbers of waves are going to be superimposed with each other. When they are going to superimpose with each other, we are going to get this type of wave. Somewhere it is maximum and somewhere is minimum. See, this is looks like a particle. This envelope is looks like a particle which is named as particle, which is superimposed by this one. So in this way, this group velocity, this group is named as particle, that we are going to be discuss detail. Wait. So by these few lines, what we found, whenever we are going to be superimpose, we can found these velocities inside this envelope, they are moved with a average velocity. Okay, and this peak, this maximum peak will be moved with a another velocity. This peak is represents this pink color peak is represents the particle velocity, and these waves velocity as nothing but your wave velocity. So in this way we can represent a particle as wave character and vice versa by superimposing the numbers of wave. Here we consider 2. Now we have to do the mathematical derivations for this to analysis the particle and group velocity, particle velocity or group velocity. So when a single wave travels in a medium, its velocity is called as the wave velocity or phase velocity. That we have been discussed in our previous slide, that one single wave is moving means its velocity is nothing but called as the phase velocity. However, this one is called as the phase velocity. However, if a number of waves of different wavelength or wave number are moving with different velocities in a medium, then the observed velocity is the velocity of the wave packet or wave group formed by waves. This is called the group velocity. That means from this figure we can see these things I drawn in your note. So same thing it is in this dynamics. So consider the two waves psi 1 and psi 2, they are going to be superimposed with each other, and resultant is this one, and this is nothing but called as the wave group formed by these two waves, and this velocity is called as, this group's maxima is traveling with a velocity will be called as group velocity. Here this wave can be represented mathematically as a sine omega t minus kx. So as we consider that slightly difference of omega, slightly difference of k, so psi 2 is nothing but omega plus d omega minus k plus dk into dx. So here we consider the different wave having minute difference of omega and k. So here continuing with mathematical derivation, one thing I want to tell to you, your page number are here. So you have to, whenever you are watching this video, also you have to refer your note. Okay, page numbers are this one. So these write up are all from page number 2. Okay, now we are considering page number 3, the same mathematical derivation. What now, we have to superimpose this one, these two waves. That means we have to add up these two things, that is psi 1 plus psi 2. So a sine omega t minus kx plus a sine omega plus d omega t minus k plus d omega into x. So by using the relation sine a plus sine b, this is sine a, this is whole over sine b, that is sine a plus sine b is nothing but 2 into sine a plus b by 2 into cos a minus b by 2. We can get these things, that is 2a into sine omega plus d omega by 2 into t minus k plus d omega by 2 into x into cos d omega t minus dkx by 2. Here d omega and dk are very small. Okay, so hence d omega plus d omega by 2 in this term can be considered as omega, and in this term k plus d omega k dk by 2 can be considered as k. So this psi will be 2a into sine omega t minus kx. This is omega, this is k, so omega t minus kx into cos d omega by 2 d omega t minus dkx by 2. So I can write d omega by 2 into t minus dk by 2 into x. So resultant wave psi will be, finally we got 2a into cos d omega by 2 into t. This term I taken initial and this term second. So d omega by 2 into t minus dk by 2 into x into sine omega t minus kx. Let this is equation number 1. So in the equation number 1, this is sine factor. This sine factor represents wave of same frequency. See, from initially we have been considered that this is the wave having the omega and k. So velocity will be omega by k. Omega by k is nothing but called the velocity, or we considered omega and k as the frequency and wave number of these equations. So from this equation number 1, we found this term, this sine factor represents the wave of same frequency omega and same wave number k as one of the component of wave we have been considered. That in this two waves, we have been considered one wave as omega and k. So this sine factor represents this one. That means this sine factor here is represents one of the wave of this one. That means this factor represents the wave nature, wave velocity of this one. That means this equation, this final equation is nothing but the equation of this wave, because separately we consider this is one wave psi 1, this is another wave psi 2. When they are going to superimpose, we found psi is this one, but in this psi the sine factor is represents one of the wave of this one. That means this represents this sine factor, or this is nothing but told to us that inside this envelope or inside this group, the waves, these two waves are moving with the velocity whatever we considered initially. That is nothing but called the phase velocity, and this peak is moving with another velocity, will be called as group velocity. Here I want to say to you that both phase velocity and group velocity, that means this wave's velocity and this peak, this maximum velocity, will be same in non-dispersive medium, but it is different in dispersive medium that we are going to discuss. So in your fourth page we can found that again from sine factor, the sine factor we are discussing. See what is sine factor is telling. Again from sine factor, the velocity is v equal to omega by k, which is equal to the velocity of one of the component. So this is the velocity called as the wave velocity and phase velocity. Just now we have been discussed that initially we have been considered one of the velocity of this wave is omega by k, because if I am going to go back, then we found this is the wave having the velocity is omega by k. So after superimpose both we got this wave in which the sine factor is also represents the same velocity. So only for that it will be called as phase velocity or wave velocity. Okay, that will be called as wave velocity. So this is called as wave. That means this waves will be move with a velocity, and this peak will be moved with another velocity. But in case of non-dispersive medium, both Vg and V will be same, but in dispersive both are different, that we are going to discuss. Wait, now again from equation number 1, the cosine factor from equation number 1, this is the equation number 1, the cosine factor, see, the cosine factor is represents slowly varying function of both x and t. Say this t and x slowly varying in this cos factor and modulate the amplitude of resultant wave. Amplitude, modulate the amplitude, two times I written mistakenly, you have to strike out this one. The amplitude of resultant wave r will be, this is 2a cos d omega by 2 into t minus dk by 2 into x. So this is this much is nothing but the amplitude of this wave group. This is the pink color, this envelope's amplitude. We can found that this in this envelope at the middle the amplitude is larger, but if we are going to go this side and this side, the amplitude is decreases. This things is telling that the cos factor is told to us that the resultant amplitude or this amplitude or the envelope or the group of waves amplitude varying with t and x. That means if we have to move from the center to this, the amplitude is varied, and if we have to move with the time, the amplitude also vary. Means at here it is maximum. If we have to consider the group velocity amplitude at here also it is changes. So with the displacement it is changes, with the time also changes. Here in the dynamics, in this animation you can found. So that, okay, these things I forgot to explain. So Vp is equal to omega by k, and Vp phase velocity h cross k, h cross, if I am going to multiply, then we can found E by P. Okay, it represents wave group whose velocity will be how much. If we are going to consider, this is the wave having the amplitude is resultant amplitude is this one, then its velocity will be d omega by dk. In which way omega by k, likewise this from this sinusoidal, or this is a sinusoidal function, this is also a sinusoidal function, this is also can be called as the wave function, a wave equation. So from this the velocity will be d omega by dk, which is nothing but called the group velocity, which is denoted as Vg, called as group velocity. This velocity represents the maximum amplitude. This is the maximum amplitude moving with the velocity Vg. That means the maximum amplitude moves with the velocity, that velocity is Vg. Okay, coming to the next, now we have to find out the relation between Vg and Vp. So from equation number 3, previously we found d omega by dk, and we know that Vp is equal to omega by k. I can put omega is equal to k Vp. So Vg is equal to, if we have to differentiate, we can found Vp plus k into dVp by dk. That implies Vg equal to Vp plus k into dVp by d lambda into d lambda by dk. Here d lambda I multiplied numerator and denominator, but we know that k equal to 2 pi by lambda and lambda equal to 2 pi by k, and d lambda by dk is nothing but minus 2 pi by k square. Put this in the above equation. In this equation, if I am going to put d lambda by dk, we found b is equal to Vp plus k into d Vp by d lambda into minus 2 pi by k square. Continuing to the next page, we found b is equal to Vp minus 2 pi by k into d Vp by d lambda. We know that k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. So 2 pi by k will be lambda here. So here k got cancelled, we can find 2 pi by k. So 2 pi by k is lambda. So here we found the relation between phase velocity and groove velocity. So here now we can consider the dispersive medium and non-dispersive medium. So as I told earlier, the phase velocity and groove velocity in dispersive and non-dispersive is different. Means in case of non-dispersive medium both are same, but in case of dispersive medium that both are different. I can show you one dynamics. See, here we can see this is the groove velocity. This blue dot is the groove velocity, in which both groove velocity and red one phase also overlapped with each other. That means the maximum amplitude is moving in which velocity? The waves which are moving inside this wave packet or in this envelope also moving same velocity. So phase velocity and groove velocity is same in this dynamics. Now you can consider another dynamics, this one. You can found this one is the phase velocity overtakes the groove velocity. So this is the example of how the phase velocity is overtakes or greater than that of the groove velocity. So here in case of dispersive medium, the phase velocity depends upon the wavelength. Dispersive medium wavelength dependent of phase velocity we can found. Okay, how? See, we can consider a example like a prism without any dispersive medium. This is white light. When this white light enters into the prism, they are dispersed, because we know that in the dispersive medium the different wavelengths light have speed is different. Same thing it is written here. In the dispersive medium, the phase velocity, that means the components of the waves what are mixed or composited in this white light, and when white light is dispersed through a dispersive medium, that is prism, then they have separated out due to their different, these colors have different wavelength and different wavelength have different velocity in a dispersive medium. So in the dispersive medium the phase velocity depends upon the wavelength. So likewise, hence dp by d lambda is not equal to 0. This is not equal to 0. So Vg will be dp minus some factor, hence Vg will be less than that of the Vp. But in case of non-dispersive mediums means you can consider one type of vacuum. So in case of vacuum, the white light propagates, they have composited of numbers of colors or numbers of waves without any dispersion. That means dp by d lambda equal to 0 and Vg equal to Vp. Here in this case also we can correlate this one with this one, that this pink one is the composite of two waves. This is the composite of two waves, means mixture of two waves. So this is this one, or the group of wave, or the after superimpose that pink color one is nothing but so called, this is white. When this pink color wave or group of wave is going to be interact with a dispersive medium, the phase velocity of these things are going to be separated out. So in this way we can understand that when a wave or a composite wave is going to be interact with a dispersive medium, they are going to be separate, but without any dispersive medium they are not going to be separate, they are moving with the same velocity, that is group velocity equal to phase velocity. That means if this is the combination of the groups and they are moving inside this wave packet with a velocity that is called the phase velocity, that phase velocity will be equal to this envelope velocity, group velocity. Okay, for non dispersive it is not same. Vp, phase velocity of individual, phase velocity means individual wavelength velocity, is different or greater than, and the here in case of non-dispersive Vg equal to Vp. So here we found the last expression Vg equal to Vp, group velocity equal phase velocity for in case of non-dispersive medium. Here we are considering non-dispersive means it is an ideal situation. Ideal situation, that means there is no interaction of the particle or the wave packet with another medium. So if we are going to consider this white light as wave packets, they are not interacted here, but here it is interacted. So first we are considering always ideal condition. So this is the last expression, or we found in case of non-dispersive Vg is equal to Vp. Now this expression, is it true in both the relativistic and non-relativistic case? That we are going to be find out. So verification in relativistic and non-relativistic motion of the particle. In case of non-relativistic, for a free particle the total energy is nothing but p square by 2m, which is total kinetic energy. If I am going to differentiate with p, then we can found p by m. Then p, we know that h cross omega, sorry, yes, here E is nothing but h cross omega, p is nothing but h cross k, and we know that p by m, p is equal to mv, so mv by m is equal to v. So here we found that h cross both are constant. H cross is reduced Planck constant, constant got cancelled, d omega by dk is equal to v, and we know that d omega by dk is nothing but Vg, group velocity, is equal to v, represents wave group velocity is same as particle velocity, implies maximum amplitude velocity as same as particle velocity. Here we found. Now we have to consider relativistic case, where energy square is energy and momentum having the relation is this one. For a particle of rest mass m0, if moving with approximately light speed, then energy, that particle possesses energy, is nothing but is equal to this much. Now E, if E square is equal to this much, then E equal to this much, then del E by del P, only differentiation of right hand side will be 1 by 2 this much into 2p square, and E is equal to h cross omega, P is equal to h cross k. You have to always mark the pointer wherever I am moving the pointer. Okay, h cross k, p c square by p square c square plus m0 square c to the power 4, it is minus 1 by 2, here plus 1 by 2 came to the denominator. Then d omega by dk is equal to pc square by e, and d omega by dk is nothing but vg, that p square pc square by e, and vg is nothing but we know that p is equal to m into v. So m is the rest mass we have been considered earlier is m0, but relativistic mass will be gamma into rest mass, that is gamma into 0, that is the gamma factor will become from your Lorentz transformation, and this gamma will be multiplied with the rest mass, that is when the mass of a particle having m0 will be moved with a velocity approximately to the velocity of the light, then its mass will be increases with the multiplying factor of gamma, that is gamma into m0. So here m into v, p equal to m into v. Instead of m, I can put gamma m0 into v c square divided by e. E is equal to mc square, m0 c square. So here I can write gamma m0 c square. Okay, so here also we got Vg equal to v. Here also we found the group velocity or maximum amplitude velocity Vg is equal to the particle velocity. Here you can see that p square c square plus p m0 square c to the 4 is e. Okay, is equal to e. So you can write root over is e. So for this expression and this expression is same, so only for that I written e here. So here also in case of relativistic case also we found Vg equal to Vp. So in the conclusion, we can conclude here that in case of both relativistic and non-relativistic case, the phase velocity is equal to the particle velocity. Phase velocity equal to the particle velocity. And here we found that the particle whatever we have been considered, that is nothing but superimpose of waves and the so-called this envelope. This whole envelope is nothing but called as the particle. Here I considered the particle at the center, that means here I placed a particle at the center, that means that the most probable the finding of the particle at the center of this envelope. Okay, this envelope is moving with time along x-axis, means particle is moving. This envelope, whole packet, this wave packet, or sometimes some books are telling that envelope, this whole envelope is called as the particle, which is represented by the superimpose of waves. Okay, so this is whole thing is particle, this total envelope is particle. Particle is moving means envelope is moving. So here a few interesting conclusions, that the true reality of quantum system is neither pure particle nor wave. So whenever we are analyzing the quantum particle or quantum system, that means electron and atoms dynamics and nucleus and components of the nucleus, at that time the particles whatever we are going to consider, that all are the so-called microscopic particle, the proton, neutron, electron. So whenever we want to derive their mathematical derivations, at that time we could not consider that particle is a purely particle or a purely wave. Both the things we have to consider. That means the particle and wave aspect of a quantum system manifests or declare themselves only when subject to certain observation. So whenever you are going to be try to observe or analyze a quantum dynamics, at that time we have to consider particle, means automatically the wave is going to be declared. If I am going to consider the wave and we are considering the wave, automatically the particle nature is going to be manifests along with. So say the particle, in the third conclusion, that is the particle and wave manifestation declared or declared. Manifestation means declaring without any contradiction. That means both here we found both particle and wave, they are declaring themselves without any contradiction, whatever we found in our Schrödinger wave paradoxical situation. Here both wave and particle are combined together and correlating with each other. So they are both complementary with each other. Complementary means enhancing, emphasizing with each other, means the particle is emphasizing the wave and wave is emphasizing the particle and vice versa, being existing the complementary features of microscopic matter. Particle and wave are equally important for a complete description of the system. So only for that, for a complete description of quantum system, both particle and wave nature has been required. And whenever you have to consider the particle in the case of microscopic level, also you have to correlately consider its wave nature. So this is the envelope which is called as the group, wave group or particle. It will be move with a velocity. This peak is moving with a velocity, and inside this we are considering two waves. Inside this, that two waves with a average velocity, that is called as the wave velocity. That means initially we considered the two waves have different velocity, but when they are going to be combined with each other inside this envelope, they are moving with a average velocity, that is v, and this peak is moving with another velocity, that is called the Vg, group velocity. But in case of dispersive medium, V and Vg are different, but in case of non-dispersive, Vg and V is same, whatever we have been discussed. So again I am going to be tell to you one thing, that this whole envelope is called as the wave packet and particle. That means this is called as the particle, this whole is particle. So here at the center, the most probable finding of the particle is possible. If we are going to move outside from the center, the finding of the particle is, percentage of finding of the particle is going to be decrease, and here it is very minimum. Okay, the particle here to here moving means this envelope is moving along x-axis. So this dx distance is called the wave packet, and this wave packet is the superimpose of the waves. Here we are considering two waves, and this envelope is called as, or wave packet is called as particle. Okay, so this type of 3D picture, if you are going to consider that this is the whole envelope where the particle will be situated at center. So if this particle is moving, that means this whole is moving like this. So up to this much. Thank you so much. You go through this video, and if in doubt, that we are going to be discussed. Okay, thank you.